Tumingin ka sa team mo ngayon. Ilan kayo? 50, 100, 300? Now, imagine this. Sa bawat 5 sa inyo, isa lang ang maiiwan. Hindi dahil recession, hindi dahil sa crisis, hindi dahil nalugi yung company nyo, kundi dahil biglang naging 5 beses mas productive ang isang tao. Now, here's a question. Kung kaya ng isang empleyadong gawin ang trabaho ng 5, bakit pa magbabayad ang kumpanya ng 5? They won't. At yan ang tahimik na math na nagsisimula ng mangyari sa BPO industry. Oh, don't get me wrong Hindi ito yung, mawawala na ang BPO. No, downsizing ito. So ang headline, hindi BPO will collapse. Okay? This is a slow squeeze. But hey, kung mali ako, good. Pero kung tama ako, kailangan natin pag-usapan to habang maaga pa. Now, hindi ko to inimbento Hindi ako nag-drawing lang ng sarili kong conclusion. But there are signals na lumalabas from multiple directions. Pag-usapan natin. Signal number 1. Last February 2025, nag-release ang IMF ng working paper on AI in the Philippine labor market, saying around 1/3 of all jobs in the Philippines are highly exposed to AI. So, ibig sabihin, roughly isa sa bawat 3 trabaho sa bansa ay maapektuhan ng artificial intelligence. And the sector with the highest proportion of jobs at risk of displacement, BPO. Signal number 2. Business World published an analysis saying kahit 30% lang ang tamaan, more than $10 billion ang mawawala sa economy ng Pilipinas every year. 500,000 to 800,000 jobs are at risk. Signal number 3. The International Labor Organization's data. 89% of the BPO workforce faces high risk of automation. Signal number 4. A YouTube video by Asian Boss titled Why the Philippines Outsourcing Economy is Quietly Disappearing. Meron siyang 750,000 views, 25,000 likes, 3,000 comments na far majority are already worried dahil nakikita na nila sa mga trabaho nila. And signal number 5, itong recent Reddit post titled When the Sunshine Industry Begins to Sunset. Written not by a journalist, not by isang economist, but by a BPO worker, someone on the inside. Again, these are 5 signals galing sa 5 different sources, all pointing to the same direction. Hindi ko ginawa yung math, hindi ko ginawa yung research. They did. I'm just putting it together for you. Now, let me read you what an actual BPO workers are reporting from that Reddit thread. Yung isang QA analyst sabi niya, yung manual call evaluation na ginagawa nila dati, pinalitan na ng real-time AI system. Automated na. Walang tao. Isang trainer sabi niya, dati, ratio nila 1 trainer for every 50 agents. Ngayon, 1 for 500. AI na ang nag-o-onboard. Yung isang senior developer, hindi na siya nagko-code. Nag-orchestrate na lang siya ng 5 AI agents doing the work that used to need 5 developers. Now, from that Asian Boss comment section sa YouTube, 750,000 views reacting. Someone from India, sabi pa niya, again, these are from country, someone na ahead of us, yung India. Ahead of us sa outsourcing. Nag-warning siya because nakikita niya na sa India. And 913 likes sa isang comment na yon. There was a former BPO employee, he broke down the economics kung bakit mas makakatipid ang maraming businesses with AI. 1,500 likes. Listen, pag ganyang kadaming tao ang nag-agree sa isang sentence, hindi na opinion yun Feeling na yon ng isang generation. Like, wait, before we go further, sa isang banda naman, ibang opinion. So in 2024, the Philippine BPO industry actually added 135,000 new jobs. So hindi bumaba, tumaas, right? Here's another fact. The industry is on track to add 1.1 million more jobs by 2028. At least yun yung kanilang official target. Here's another fact. 67% of BPO companies in the Philippines are already implementing AI. But reporting that it's actually helping them. Nagbo-boost yung productivity nila. So, not eliminating headcount yet. Here's another fact. The IMF's own report says 61% of the highly exposed jobs are highly complementary. Ibig sabihin, nakakatulong ang AI sa kanila at hindi sila pinapalitan. And lastly, AI is still expensive. Hindi lahat ng company afford it. Many BPO firms are still running legacy systems. Adoption is slow, uneven, medyo magulo pa. Yung ibang expert even argue na ang BPO is not shrinking at all. It is shifting from low-skill, routine work to higher-value AI-adjacent roles. So, let me be clear. Hindi ko sinasabing bukas wala ka ng trabaho ha. Hindi yun ang point. But here's what worries me. Everything I just said, the job growth, the complementary, the slow adoption, all of that is about right now, ngayon, this year. You see, the question is not, is BPO dying today? The question is, what does the trend look like in 3 to 5 years? At doon nagtatagpo ang mga signal na binabanggit ko kanina. Kasi the same companies na, they added 135,000 jobs last year, sila rin ang companies na nag-i-invest sa AI para mabawasan ang headcount per account. So, those things can be true at the same time eh. Growth now, compression later. Hindi yun biglang crash na suddenly wala ng BPO. Ito yung dahan-dahang pag-ipit. It's a slow squeeze. Yung parang tubig na unti-unting pumapasok sa bangka, hindi ka malulunod ngayon eh. Pero kung hindi mo aalisin ang tubig palabas, in 2 years, 3 years, and the dangerous part of a slow squeeze, hindi mo kasi pansin eh. Hindi mo ramdam. Kasi komportable ka. May sahod ka, may aircon ka pa, may HMO. So, bakit ka kikilos, right? Now, when I say slow squeeze or compression, medyo abstract eh. Allow me to make it real. Compression doesn't mean mass layoffs na bigla mong mababalitaan. It means fewer openings. The account that used to hire 200 agents per wave, ngayon baka 50 na lang ang kailangan nila. Same account, same client, fewer seats, fewer promotions. Kasi the middle management layer, I'm talking about, mga team leads, QA, supervisors, and trainers, is exactly where AI is most efficient. So, the career ladder gets shorter. Wage pressure. Mas maraming tao, mas konti ang roles. Supply and demand. Hindi ka binabawasan ng sahod, pero hindi rin tumataas. Of course, tapos ang inflation, pag mahal ang bilihin, tuloy-tuloy naman. Invisible displacement. Hindi ka tiniterminate, pero hindi ka rin tinatanggap. So imagine, a fresh graduate, nag-send ng say 50 resumes. Okay? Walang tawag, sin zone. Not because they're not qualified, but because the seats are not there anymore. May nag-post nga sa Reddit and he said it perfectly. Hindi dahil nawalan sila ng trabaho today, kundi dahil hindi na nila alam kung may secure pa ba sila bukas o trabaho sila bukas. And again, this is not unique sa Philippines, by the way. The same compression is happening in India, in Eastern Europe, in Latin America, kung saan merong outsourcing. AI is quietly renegotiating the terms. Now, hindi ito conspiracy, hindi ito fear-mongering. It's just economics. So, kung ganito ang landscape, sino ang matitirang nakatayo? Kasi, yun naman ang totoong tanong, di ba? Again, ang tanong hindi mamamatay na ba ang BPO? No. Kundi, ano ang kailangan kong gawin para hindi ako may squeeze out? Now, based on everything that I've read, the IMF data, the industry reports, the insider accounts, and of course, yung 17 years of watching how industries shift, may pattern eh. The people who survive compression are not necessarily the smartest o yung pinaka-experienced, but they are the ones who reposition earliest. Now, let me give you 5 types of people who I believe will still be standing when the squeeze is over. Number 1, the AI orchestrator. Hindi na siya nagko-code, hindi na siya nagtatype ng reports, siya yung nagmamanage ng AI agents na gumagawa ng trabaho. Like that senior developer sa Reddit. One person running 5 AI agents. Siya na yung conductor, hindi ang musician. Number 2, the relationship layer. May mga role na hindi kaya ng AI. complex renegotiation, cultural nuances, emotional intelligence. The account manager na kinakaibigan yung client or yung escalation specialist na nagpapakalma pagkagalit na yung customer. Human connection, hindi yun ma-automate. Number 3, the niche specialist. I'm talking about the healthcare BPO, the legal process outsourcing, compliance, cybersecurity. These are growing, not shrinking. And the more specialized you are in this high-stakes domain, mas mahirap kang palitan ng AI. Number 4, the creator entrepreneur. The one who stops depending on one employer entirely. The one who builds, say, digital products, a side income, an asset, or a very specialized service provider. Something na kumikita kahit walang employer na nag-a-assign ng shift. Number 5, the adaptable learner. Ito yung tao na hindi siya yung pinakamatalino, pero siya yung pinakamabilis mag-adjust. The person who's already learning, say, how to launch an app kahit hindi naman siya or wala siyang alam sa programming. Someone already testing AI tools or someone already volunteering for the AI pilot projects sa company nila. Hindi siya naghihintay ng memo. Basta kumikilos na siya. Now, these are the 5 archetypes, 5 klase ng tao na I really believe hindi may squeeze out. Now, napansin mo ba kung ano yung common denominator sa kanila? Lahat sila kumilos bago napilitan. Now, balik tayo sa tanong ko sa simula. Tumingin ka sa team mo. Ilan kayo? 50? 100? 300? Kung kaya ng isang taong gawin ang trabaho ng 5, sino sa inyo ang matitirang nakatayo? Now, at least ngayon, alam mo na ang sagot. Alam mo na kung anong archetype ang kailangan mong maging. So, ang tanong lang is, kumikilos ka na ba? Now, hindi popular ang ganitong usapan. I don't expect this video will go viral. Nobody wants to hear it. Pero kailangan ng isang tao na magsabing, prepare, this won't last. At ito po yung video na yon. Again, I'm not telling you that the BPO industry is dead. It's not. It's still the sunshine industry, as we call it. It still employs 1.2 million Filipinos. It still contributes almost 8% of our GDP. But sunshine doesn't mean permanent. And the signals are there for anyone willing to look. The IMF sees it, Business World sees it, 750,000 YouTube video viewers have seen it. At yung Reddit thread was written by someone who sees it every day sa trabaho nila. Yung mainstream media, hindi nila masyado pag-uusapan dun eh. And yung isang nag-comment sa Reddit, yun ang sinabi niya. And 2,200 people agreed on that. Pero pag-usapan na natin. Again, not to scare you, but to ask you one question. Nag-iipon ka na ba? Hindi lang ng pera, nag-iipon ng skills, ng options, ng fallback, ng something na sa'yo, hindi sa employer mo. Now, if this video made you think, kahit konti lang, I want to hear from you. Comment below anong sa tingin mong archetype ka. Are you an orchestrator? Relationship player ka ba? Specialist? Creator? Or maybe learner? Or baka may iba ka pang nakikita? Let's talk about it. And if you know someone na nasa BPO right now, kaibigan mo, kapatid, magulang, or anak mo, share mo to sa kanila. Hindi para takutin, kundi para may oras pa silang kumilos. And of course, don't forget to click the like and share button. Talk to you soon. Bye.